Fisher. It's time we talked about the Ark.
What is it?
What Nikolads wants most in the world, and what we're going to catch him by.
That's all we know.
We know the Ark is hidden somewhere inside the Georgian presidential palace, and we know Varlam Kristavi is letting him take it.
Who's Kristavi?
The new president of Georgia, pushed into power by our friends at the CIA.
It doesn't make sense.
We'll do the thinking. Your primary mission in Georgia will be Nikolads. We get him and the game's over. The good guys win.
Were you talking to Lambert?
Yeah. How soon before we touch down in Georgia?
We don't. You'll be making a halo jump.
Goody.
Dad, is that you?
Sarah? It's good to hear your voice.
Are you coming home? The TV said you guys beat Nikolad.
It's not that simple.
So you're not coming home?
No, honey, not yet. But soon.
A collective sigh of relief as the U.S. returned to a state of amicable diplomacy with China. The swift action of the CIA and Chinese intelligence revealed a splinter faction of the Chinese military covertly supporting the Georgian information crisis, declaring a national day of mourning for those lost in the Georgian information crisis. Confirms the consummate defeat of Kombain Nikolads' cyber warriors. The acts of information terrorism have come to an end. And in a ceremony later today, President Bowers will be issuing an official thanks to the CIA, FBI, and U.S. Special Forces for their role in bringing an end to the crisis. Though his whereabouts are still unknown, Kombain Nikolads is essentially powerless.
We have torn off the scorpion's claws. We have severed his tail, and he cannot stay hidden for long.
Hello, my name is Gwectro, and this is Tom Clancy Splinter Cell. Full stealth walkthrough completed with 0 alerts and minimal knockouts. This is Presidential Palace, the finality of the base game for Splinter Cell.
Our cleanest path to the Ark is President Kristavi's records. Details on your OPSAT.
What if Kristavi gets in my way?
Don't touch him. He's copacetic with the CIA. If Kristavi dies, the mission's over.
Notice I said the finality of the base game for the original Splinter Cell, but it's not the actual finale to the game. We still have 3 more missions left after the base game mission here, which are DLC missions. They were add-on missions that were added into the Xbox Marketplace years and years back. And then when the PC version of the original Splinter Cell released, I believe they bundled in those 3 DLC missions free when they released the PC port. So it's the finality of the base game here with the Presidential Palace. And this is a unique introduction here to a mission in the original Splinter Cell. You just simply do a whole lot of parkour, and it can be a little jank with the older controls here. So sometimes, even though it seems like it looks pretty easy and straightforward, you might be able to possibly not grab onto a ledge here or there, and you'll jump off and you'll fail and you have to do it all over again. But for the most part, this is basically how you pull it off. And the first part of this mission here is pretty damn hard for full stealth without getting caught or seen by multiple dogs as well as multiple humans. So we're going to start off here into the courtyard section where there's going to be a spotlight rolling around here, as well as 2 dogs.
Why don't you clean up after your dog?
Who is that? Get that damn spotlight out of my eyes, you filthy sniper!
So there's the guy controlling a spotlight up top as a sniper. And then you got 2 guards here along with 2 dogs to deal with. We're going to be shooting out some lights here with some sticky cameras. We shoot out lights with the sticky cameras instead of bullets because that prevents them from getting fully alerted, which is something that does happen sometimes. So he gets suspicious. And we can shoot that one from a distance because there's guards that are not close to it. So we're pretty safe there. And then we're going to crawl into this corner here so that the dog doesn't smell us, because we really want to avoid these dogs. They are very overpowered in the original game. They will smell you from a billion miles away. So we really want to make sure we're far away from that dog. So we're just going to wait here for a little bit until the guard stops being suspicious, and the dog there is standing in place and kind of looking at me. That means he is actually smelling me. The dog is smelling me here when he does that. He or she, I don't know. But nonetheless, overpowered dogs in this game. Now when the dog turns around, we're good to go. We don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, they relax and chill out here. And the guard calls him a stupid dog. How dare you? They're overpowered as all heck in this game, man. They're not stupid. They're actually very, very intelligent in this game. Very intelligent animals in this game. No dogs are stupid. Confirmed. From a dog lover, dog owner. And also a cat owner. We're going to run right behind this corner here so that we can get this guard to move. We're going to have to get this guard to move so that we can proceed forward here. We're going to wait just a second as he proceeds to keep moving in that direction. Shoot out the light here and there. So we have some darkness to crawl into here. We want to be able to crawl fast, in which case the guard will hear us. Insert the code for this keypad. This is the only keypad code that I do not get from a guard in this playthrough. And the reason why is because it's so inconsistent to knock out this guard and try to hide the body, because the dogs that we previously saw in the courtyard area, they will run around and walk around and smell you and smell your presence and your scent in this area. And they walk around the whole section here. Even out here where I'm at, the dog will come all the way out here, so it's impossible to hide that body. But that guard has the keypad code that we dodged. And because it's so inconsistent to knock him out for the keypad code, I can't do it. So I have to bend the rules a little bit of my stipulations for the walkthrough here to be able to get through.
Spread out and search.
These enemies are going to be walking in here. They turn on the lights. We can just wait here in this corner because one of the guards disabled the lasers there in front so that we can get to this corner. Going to be 3 guards and a 4th one trailing behind. And once that 4th one goes through, then we can proceed to move along once they are all facing their backs against you. Just waiting for that guard to turn. Or even turn his head, as he just did right there. The guards turn their heads left to right, they pan. So it gives us an opportunity to sort of sneak by him here. There's a laser set up here, which is why we're doing this. Crawl up on this railing. And that is the first part of Presidential Palace. Looks very straightforward and easy, but I promise you that is pretty annoying at times to learn.
Special forces.
Georgian elite, probably Kristavi's men, which would suggest
We're going to be climbing up here and waiting.
Affect my gear.
That guard down below is panning his head up and down. He can see you sometimes because you are in the light here. And this other guard up top is facing away from you, so he's not going to see you unless you get really up close and personal here. In which case we're going to wait right around here so that the guard below doesn't see us, and the guard in front of us on the section here turns around and doesn't see us either. And then we're going to be knocking out that guard. That is a guard that we can knock out for a keypad code that will not get alerted and will not be found with the body because we can hide it in a dark spot afterwards here. There you go, 1 note added from the satchel, the data stick. We're going to hide the body here a little bit just for the time being so that that guard below doesn't see it because he can get alerted to it. Place him right on the end of that door there. There is the code. And we're going to wait. We're going to use the optical cable. Look here. Unfortunately, the body is going through the door, but as long as we can see what we need to see here, which is guards panning back and forth here, that is all we need to care about. There you go. Teleported. So once those guys are facing in that direction, and then there's going to be 2 more guards walking here. Once they go in the opposite direction, those two guards on the left and right ends, then we can proceed to open the door and hide this body in a corner. Open the door first, because you cannot open the door when you're carrying a body in the original Splinter Cell. Thankfully, that's something that improved in Pandora tomorrow and after and other Splinter Cell games after. But in the original game, you have to open the door first and then carry a body. Now we're going to wait one more time for these guards to do their patrol here, and then once they face their back against you, we can proceed to move a little bit forward. Now we want to make sure we're in a good position here, because we're too far next to this object here, not in the darkness. This guard to the left or right will sense us. We just want to make sure we're just as far away from this light as humanly possible, and also we're also making sure that our positioning on the ground, on the floor, is also right smack dab in the middle, because the guard will also sense us as well if we're too close to one side or the other. We can dodge that camera up there very easily. It's something you can't destroy. It's a camera you cannot destroy. You can only jam it with the camera jammer, but it's pretty easy to dodge. And then there's some lasers here that you can just wait for. Crawl under these, jump over these. We're gonna do a little strat here in just a second. Climb up this table. Guard's gonna come in. We're gonna type on the little keyboard here once the door closes. He's not gonna see us. We have just enough shadow to get by here. He's gonna turn on the light. We're gonna get in the corner. You don't have to do any of this, by the way, that I'm about to do in just a second.
You mean a nuclear suitcase bomb?
But you have to do this. Get him suspicious with the diversion camera. You don't have to go into this room at all, but I just want to show off something really cool in the original Splinter Cell on the Xbox PC version. As Lambert is telling us about the Ark. But here is Sam Fisher in the flesh. That's him. Michael Ironside. Gets a nice little cameo. Nice little Easter egg. Now the guard is looking around in that direction. We're gonna wait for him to kind of get to the corner here. On the other side.
Hey, who did that?
Lights turn off. Now he's gonna come back in the opposite direction, and we're just gonna try and dodge him. We can kind of crawl a little quickly here, and for some reason he won't hear us, which is good for us. We're just gonna wait for these lasers. This can be a little tricky now, because there's light on this doorway here, and he can see you if he's facing in that direction. And also these two guards that are patrolling, if they're looking in this direction, which is very possible, with some random deviation of where they're looking left to right as they're patrolling here, they can also see you in that hallway there. So you want to be careful about the light. And we're going to press up onto this wall here, because there's going to be another guard walking through the door. We're just going to chill out and wait. It's going to give you just enough space as he's diagonally walking around in all different directions, and the anxiety levels rise every time. Open the door. You got two cameras in here, but as long as you're on the sides of the wall here and then the middle here of the room where you get some shadow, you'll be good to go. Open the door. We're on the next part of the mission. Very cool hallway here, a lot of cool ambience here.
We've reached the library. Nicholas is inside.
We get the door code from earlier on.
Everybody at alert. We are retrieving the Ark. Be ready to get out.
We're getting closer and closer to the Ark. There's going to be some guards patrolling here, and some random deviation does occur here with the patrols of these guards, but the point that we're trying to emphasize here is getting the guards to walk the same direction closely together, so that we can get down into that elevator area there, because we have to go down the elevator. So right now they're spread apart, walking in the same direction, but we want them to get closer together. And like I said, this is a bit random in how it plays out. Fortunately, not much you can really do about it. So you just kind of either have to wait for them to walk closer together in the same direction, or try to force them to walk closer together by getting them suspicious with a diversion camera or something, getting their patrols messed up so that they can walk closely together here. get a better chance of doing it. So here you go. They're walking a little bit closer together here. There you go. That's what you want. And the other guard right in front of us there has our back facing us. He'll never hear us. Sometimes these guards will see you in the elevator if you're not pressed up here against the wall. Unfortunately, again, some random deviation with where they're looking with their head movement. Not much you can do.
We have an intruder. Some kind of American commando. Get Nikolaj into
The moment this
keep his head
elevator
down,
door
take care of
opens,
it.
we want to run as fast as humanly possible to the left. And that guard is not going to be able to get us. Unfortunately, nothing we can do here. This is forced combat, forced encounter.
Turned on us.
This is the best that we can do to get by without knocking anybody out. And look who is down here. Get an airfoil round and get him.
Tell me about the Ark.
Let me walk away. I can make you rich.
There's some dialogue here that I do skip.
I want to know where it came from.
This gets you nowhere.
Due to the fact that if you carry out dialogue, sometimes you can't get past the enemies here in the next phase. So we do skip that dialogue.
Come by Nikolaj. And who is your friend?
Just a weird
An
quirk
American?
with the game.
Ask him.
You will give us the Ark.
I am not God.
You will give us the Ark.
I honestly don't know what you are speaking of.
Kristavi knows it is a nuclear suitcase bomb. And he knows you have it.
Clever man. Does he know that it is already in America?
What?
The Ark is not here.
Keep talking.
The only thing in this vault is the activation key. The bomb itself is in America. If Kristavi guarantees my freedom, I'll tell you where to find the Ark.
Give us the activation key.
This spy has the key. This American. You'll have to take it from him. I can give you the location, but only on the condition of my safety and freedom.
Agreed. You two, escort Mr. Nikolaj out of the library. You. Who are you?
Don't talk, Fisher. We're arranging for a blackout in 5 seconds. Make the most of it.
Give us the key to the Ark. You can hand it to me, or I can take it from your corpse. You have 5 seconds to decide. 4 seconds.
The moment it hits 0, the lights go out and we gotta run forward very quickly here. And then we're gonna shoot 2 smoke bombs in this opposite section here. Quickly get to the airfoil, shoot him out so he doesn't shoot you. We shoot those smoke bombs so that those guards behind us don't start shooting us from behind.
Let Nikolaj walk away.
You think he really...
And now this can get a little sketch here. This can get a little random and buggy, but we want to get out of here as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, we can't listen to any dialogue here. We got to get out of here and into this courtyard section, or else those enemies behind us will run and get alerted yet again. And like I said, there's some random deviation with how this goes about happening. But if you can get out of here as quickly as possible, and that strategy down below with the smoke bombs and airfoil round works for you, this will most likely work out for you here. But there is some random deviation, unfortunately. Couldn't figure out any real consistency, and so that's really the best we can do here. So we can climb up this pole here onto this ledge to get to the window, and you gotta wait until the guards up above us to the left and right are walking in the opposite direction so that we have enough time to climb this up. And we want to get our feet onto the ledge here because it can get a little jank climbing up here. So you just have to have some good positioning in order to be able to climb up this window. Unfortunately, it's a little jank. But if you do it successfully, it's a nice little shortcut instead of having to go to the left or right and having to deal with guards.
Be as clear as possible. Snipe Nikolaj from there. Do it now. Don't miss. You probably won't get a second chance at this.
His head is a little hard to see, but we're actually going to listen to some of the conversation first.
Barely a month ago.
It's difficult to believe. You have a way out once you're free?
I vanished once. I can vanish again easily enough.
Sure. I don't want the Americans to get too curious until the Ark is safely accounted for.
Of course.
Make it fast. You can't stay long.
Don't worry. As soon as my escort arrives, I will leave you. Providing we have come to an understanding regarding the Ark.
Of course. Do not imagine I underestimate the value of a person whose creators cannot be completely used.
Allow me one of your cigars.
And that's pretty close to the end of the conversation. Then you can just see his head there. And he is down. Press up against a wall here because there's going to be a guard opening the door and walking out of here. We can just slowly crawl out of here. He will hear you. He's pretty sensitive, so you just got to be a little careful. And there's a couple more guards to worry about, in which case we can just hide here. On the PS2 version of the game, you actually can't do this at all. It's nothing but light on the PS2 version, but for some reason on the Xbox PC version here, we can just hide here, which is pretty nice perk here. Definitely much easier to deal with this on this version of the game. But they'll just walk past you. That guard will go in the opposite direction into another room that has ammunition and health. But this is the end of the mission, so we don't really need any of that. We can just proceed to go. Now, they know about our presence as we shot Nikolai. They need to find the assassin. But they're not going to be able to find us because we're going to get out here nice and stealthily. So one more thing to worry about here. Nikolats. I'm Nikolai. The guards are just facing their back. Soft land, do not hard land, or else they'll hear you. And that is the end of the base game. That is GG for Presidential Palace. We have defeated the main target in Nicholas and successfully completed the journey in the base game, not the DLCs.
In Hopegate, Maryland, were evacuated today by the National Guard. Authorities cited a gas leak as the reason for the evacuation, stressing that today's events had no relation whatsoever to Combine Nicolats or the Georgian information crisis. Hopegate, less than half an hour from downtown Washington, D.C., will, since the recovery and confirmed identity of President Combine Nicolats' corpse 5 days ago. Palace guards fatally shot President Nicolats in the midst of what appears to have been an attempted ousting of acting President Varlam Kristavi. In a press conference this morning, U.S. President Bowers lauded the American people for their courage.
We were injured, we stumbled, but we did not fall. The world knows no hardship or terror that American tenacity cannot overcome. The world knows no problem that American ingenuity cannot solve. And so I extend my deepest admiration to every U.S. citizen of the world, to every civilian and every soldier standing firm against the terror and tyrannies of wicked men. History will not forget your resolve. History will not forget your resolve.
Dad, what's going on? You haven't laughed since the Reagan administration.
It's nothing. Forget about it.
We have kept the bright
That's
flame
the
of
secure
American
line, honey.
freedom
It's from me.
burning throughout the world. May God clear our vision and strengthen our minds for the work to come. And may God bless America.
You're not leaving again, are you, Dad?
Hello, Lambert.
Alright, and that is the finality of the base game, but not the finale of the actual game, because we have 3 more missions left to go, and unfortunately I have to mute the name of the game music here at the credit screen due to copyrights. Thank you so much, YouTube, for not allowing people to hear the amazing track for the original Splinter Cell introduction and outro here. We're just going to play the credits here to appreciate all of the designers, developers, artists, people who were part of the original Splinter Cell here and putting together an absolutely classic stealth experience for people back in the day. Innovation with a lot of visual design, gameplay design with this original Splinter Cell, and it was nice to show off some pretty cool strategies to complete the game full stealth with no alerts, and of course the minimal knockouts. Really led a lot of cool innovation for stealth games of the future, and it was really, really fun to go back to an absolute classic. So that is the end of the base game. Pretty crazy finale there with the last mission of the base game. But there are, like I said, 3 missions left to go with the DLC missions that were added on the PC port for free when it released, and also in the Xbox version you had to pay for it back in the day, but it's now also free as well in the Xbox version. And so we're going to be diving into those missions. And if you enjoy this type of content, really hope you guys consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell for more. And you can also check out the full game YouTube playlist in the video description as well to see all of the other missions, including the future ones for the DLC missions. Thank you all for watching so very much. It was a whole lot of fun to put this together and finish a really cool challenge run for the original Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell IP is one of my favorite franchises in all gaming. I'm really excited, hopefully, for what the remake will introduce when it comes to innovation in the future. At the point of making this video, hopefully it is not canceled. Hopefully it truly does happen and we can compare and contrast the original Splinter Cell with the remade version in the future. My name is Squectro. Thank you all so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It has been an honor to put this thing together and for people to watch and hopefully enjoy and be entertained by and learn something about the original Splinter Cell. And until next time, goodbye. Thank you, computer, for making a noise.